What is up, my friends? Ballard here with another World of Warcraft guide. Today I'm going to be talking about Mr. Pandaria Affliction Warlock. Over the course of this video, I will go over the stats, talents, rotation, and miscellaneous things you need to know. So first off are the stats. As an Affliction Warlock, your stat priority is hit chance to plus 15%. It's about 5100 or so. After that, haste and mastery are the only stats worth caring about. You want as much of both as possible. The actual weights will change around a bit based on your item level and how much of each you have, but you should aim to have these two stats on every single piece. Haste and mastery. No critical strike rating. As for talents, you want Soul Leech at 15. Dark Regeneration has some use in progression content if damage is predictable. Mortal Coil heals you for 15% of your health every time you use it on a 45-second cooldown. Soul Link is just passive healing and 20% damage reduction. Unbound Will is what I'm using for PvP, but you should take Burning Rush. Grimoire Supremacy is the only talent worth taking here. Grimoire of Service just adds you another button for less total damage increase. Grimoire of Sacrifice only affects Malefic Grasp and Drain Soul, which are very small on the overall spread of your damage. Archimonde's Darkness is the only one worth considering at 90. The other two are fairly worthless. As for glyphs, a lot of people will take Unstable Affliction for the faster cast time. Soul Consumption, Siphon Life are also great. Small passive healing. Curse of the Elements for Cleave. As for your actual gameplay rotation, please ignore my Soul Shards. LVY is pretty broken right now. Keep your curse on the target at all times. Maintain Unstable Affliction, Agony, and Corruption in that order. On pull, you want to cast Malefic Grasp until you get any damage increasing procs. Soul Burn, Soul Swap to reapply your dots. Keep Haunt up, recasting it at 2 to 3 seconds. Keep channeling Malefic Grasp. Refresh your dots right as Dark Soul Misery wears off to maximize the pandemic power of them. Once this is over, do not refresh your dots until right as they fall off, with the exception of Agony, which you want to maintain the stats of. When the opponent is at 20% or lower health, you want to replace Malefic Grasp with Drain Soul. It's the same basic concept, but it deals slightly more damage and will give you a Soul Shard every so often, allowing you to have 100% uptime on Haunt. In AoE situations, you want to Soul Burn Seed of Corruption. To apply Corruption to everything, then just tab target and apply dots. Only if there are 6 or more targets in the target group should you ever just spam Seed of Corruption. It's much weaker than it was in Cataclysm and Wrath of the Lich King. Now, some miscellaneous things that are important to talk about. Life Tap, Pandemic, and Snapshotting. Life Tap deals a significant amount of health damage to you, about 15 to 20%, and it restores a very large amount of your mana. You should only use this if you have 90% or higher health. You are not about to take a ton of damage, i.e. the boss is not actively using a major AoE. And of course, you have at least 60% or lower mana. Never let your mana get below 20%. Especially if a major burn phase is about to come up like Heroism. You should also use Life Tap while moving if you've got nothing better to do. Snapshotting, the most important thing for a Affliction Warlock to understand in this entire expansion. What snapshotting does is whenever you cast a damage over time effect, or use one of your 10-minute cooldown demons, or use a Grimoire of Service demon, the stats you had when you cast the ability are the ones that will be registered to that effect. So if you were much stronger when you cast it, but you lose that strength, that effect is still benefiting from it even if you aren't. This is why you want to maximize the duration of your dots in your opening burst phase, and anytime you have Misery up. You always want to refresh them right as these effects wear off, so that you get the most amount of increased duration, and you never want to overwrite a dot with a weaker version of itself. I cannot stress this enough, this is a 30% to 40% damage loss if you don't do this right. It's also a big thing for Boomkins, it's also a minor thing for Feral Druids. It's very important. Pandemic, on the other hand, is a Warlock exclusive ability, at least until the next expansion, Warlords of Draenor. What it does is when you refresh a damage over time effect, it adds the remaining duration to the new one up to 50%. This is relevant for maximizing the duration of your weaker dots whenever you have a big cooldown up. It also gives you more freedom to refresh your dots instead of waiting their whole duration. You want to refresh Corruption when it has about 4 seconds left on it. Agony when it has 4 to 6 seconds, give or take. Unstable Affliction around 3 to 5 seconds. Try to aim on the lower side. Other than that, nothing really to talk about. Have fun playing the best spec in all of Miss Pandaria.